girl get pregnant for him, he ended up raping the child years later. I did not know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, people still hold on to that.
And it's because Barbados is so small.
Yes, yes.
Kidding.
But it's not just Barbados, the world is small. If you make a movie, everybody sees the movie.
True.
The whole world sees the movie.
Speaking of that.
Yes. So I mean,
Speaking of that.
people will never know who you really are.
Yeah.
They'll never know the real you. They'll always associate you with the character who's fiction. There you go. Yes.
Story. I wrote a short story
Yes.
for a green reading that we have on the Casings Rock, right? Told the story basically loosely based on my grandmother and planting trees and things. And this woman comes to me crying bad after, and I was like, "Man, you alright?" She said, "That story touched my heart," and it was like. It was something with trees.
So then the other thing I wanted to say, so yes, theater will, so your performances will have an effect on others, but they will also have an effect on you.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you yourself internally, especially if you're doing it right. Yes, theater can be acting is a very cathartic experience. You know, if you have to play the girl who's raped, or if you have to play the one who rapes the girl, and you know you got to reach inside of yourself to find that experience that you can relate to give a credible performance.
Right.
Yeah? Then that's deep and it's painful. So it opens up something in you that will change you too. Yes? So what you're doing is something very important. You have to take it seriously. Yes, please, yes.
You think sometimes you'll actually lose sense of who you really are?
Most certainly.
Especially like
yes.
a soap opera person that do the same thing every day.
Or for 30 years playing Marlena Evans.
Playing one
Yes,
body,
okay,
you know,
yes. Well, you hear stories about actors not being able to find themselves anymore because they're so accustomed being in role.
Tropic Thunder.
Yes, you do hear those stories. And in fact, you hear some sad stories of actors who can never turn it off.
Heath Ledger.
Yeah? Heath Ledger is a perfect example.
Yeah,
who was
Ray
traumatized by the
He was still in character a
character.
year and a half after.
Dustin Hoffman, great man.
Yes.
Anthony Hopkins is another one too.
Yeah.
He's got going a mountain for like a year and a half after he do
Depends
Hannibal.
on the role you play. Depends
After
on
Hannibal,
the role you play.
he's got going mountains by himself after playing Hannibal.
But it's important to know these things because you're doing something it's important what you're doing, and it's important what you're doing. And it's true. Acting killed Heath Ledger. Acting is what killed him.
And medication.
Not the medication. It is because he could not get over the character of the Joker he was playing and the way he chose to play. He wanted to go to this psychotic, deep, dark place. So he had to go there inside his head first. So he did it to himself. He had to do it because he's an actor of worth, you know. He values his performance.
He's a method actor.
But then he couldn't shake it. You remember if you heard the stories, he couldn't sleep at night. He started to take the pills to try to sleep. It was playing on his mind all the time.
Started to see the joke in the mirror every time you look at him.
Yes, and it's what killed him.
Became scared of him.
So what you're doing is, if you know a little bit of theater history, in Shakespeare's time, back in those days when the Puritans were trying to close down all the theaters, they thought that actors were in league with the devil.
I heard about that.